Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Just to start off today, just want to give a special thank you to all the veterans out there, here on Veterans Day, just for their service to our country, for the work and the sacrifices that are poured in, from themselves, and just the time and investment that helps allow us to have the freedoms to do all the things that we get to do here in this wonderful country. And so to all the veterans, definitely appreciate you, and it's great to be able to celebrate the work that you have put in, and all the investments into our country. And then to Coach Penske and the soccer team, just so very excited for the ACC championship. There yesterday. I mean, obviously a great day, and just an incredible season that's not done yet, but definitely want to congratulate that team, and the way that they've worked and responded throughout the course of the season to finish as ACC champions. Definitely proud of them. Coming off the weekend, it's been a really hard weekend, and obviously from the game, as I told you afterwards, extremely disappointing to the performance, to how we played. It was a game that we had our moments, we had our opportunities early, and then kind of snowballed on us there in the second half, and game got away. And it was I thought, even going back watching the film, I did not question our players' effort. I thought they played hard. They tried to fight, throughout it, but ultimately we're not good enough, in our performance, and that's in all three phases. Everybody involved in the program. Yesterday with the decision to change with the three coaches, obviously is it's hard. I mean, those are great men, and they're great coaches, and obviously this season and where we are is not to the standard of anyone, and in all reality, not to the standard that of them either. And but the decision to make the change was one that I deemed was best for the program. And obviously we are going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back quickly. And obviously it's my job, my task to make sure that whatever we need to do to help accelerate that process, and to continue to pour into these players for the next 3 weeks. This week being a bye week, of the next 2 games. I mean, we have to do that. And had our team meeting last night. Did not have practice. Was able to inform the team, and then we had meetings on both sides of the ball, and kind of a refocus for what these 3 weeks need to be. And this week is going to be a week about work, as I mentioned after the game, and we got to go get better. And some guys that need to get their bodies healed up and ready to go play their best for the next 2 contests. And then obviously all of our focus is on that. And for me, there is obviously the task of what will be next when it comes to the leaderships on both sides of the ball, and what we're doing there. And so obviously I'll have so kind of a split role, especially this week, as I'm kind of going through, have some preliminary plans. And obviously it's been a season full of evaluation, as we've gone through it, and I'm going to continue to do everything I can to pour into these players, but also make sure that doing the due diligence and identifying the right fit for Florida State as we're moving forward. So with that, we'll take questions.
Start with Brendan here on your left. Can you walk us through the timing of making the coaching decisions to do it now in season? I know it's something that we'd asked you previously when you would make it, and then can you also just weigh in on conversations with administration and how you went about ultimately making this decision?
Well, obviously there's never a good time or and a right time to do that, but I felt like it was a time that was necessary for us, and I felt it was in the best interest, for our program, and that's why I decided to make that decision there yesterday. And ultimately it's still about the focus of what we can do to go finish the season the best that we can. And the results have not been to what anybody expected but we are where we are. And I made the choice to make a change, and it was what I felt was the right time to do it.
We'll go to Liam, second row on your left.
Mike, you mentioned you talked to some of the players. How were those conversations? Kind of how did they react to that, and what was their kind of thought process in moving forward?
Well, I mean, it's a hard day. Anytime there's change, and you couple that with it's change because of results, and we are the results on the field. There's joint accountability to that, and it's players, coaches, everybody involved. And it got real yesterday. And 3 great men that have poured a lot into this program. Their families, I mean, I love their families. That they poured a lot into this program. And each of these guys, have had that relationship. And so it's hard for them. It's hard for everybody. But at the end of the day, we all still have a task. We have responsibilities of what we need to be and what we need to do from here. And for our team, it's to come together. It's to control the things that we can control in our work, our effort, our improvement. And even though those 3 coaches won't be here, I still have an obligation to them. I have an obligation to them to make sure that everything that we're doing, all the work that they poured in over the last 5 years, Ron being here for 6 years, I mean that it's continuing to build upon where our program's going, even though they're not going to be a part of it. There's a lot of effort that they poured into it too, and. So we all have responsibilities, and for this university, for this program, for our fan base. I mean, it is with every part of my spirit and being to get this right, and we're going to get it right. We're going to bounce back. We're going to be on track to where we need to be going, and message to the players and message to everybody around the program is that their best is going to be required, and you can. There's going to be plenty of circumstances that arise, and we see it through the course of games. You see it through the course of life. Sometimes you don't necessarily feel good about what's happened. You don't. It doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but you still get to make choices. And our choice now is to go fight for our improvement, to believe in each other, to believe in what the standard and the expectation it is to be a part of this program, because there will be no let up, and there'll be no pullback, and it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, to be a part of this program, there's going to be one way that we're operating, moving forward, and I can promise you it's going to be with everything that I got, and all those that surround me.
All right, we'll go to Gene, second row on your right.
Coach, as you're very aware, early signing period's just a few weeks away. What will be your plan? What will be your message to recruits right now with obviously some vacancies on the coaching staff to try to hold those kids that are convinced, and then also recruit ones that are not committed yet?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of communication last night. I was able to connect with every commit in this class. Guys are top targets, and then one guy that's phone was not available in the younger class, but I've touched base with all of those guys, and it's you spend a lot of time building relationships, and there's times that when those roles or positions change, it's hard for kids, but they also understand all the things that are in store for them, and the opportunity that's here has not changed, and it's just about being able to share as much as I can with them, just the vision for what's ahead. We all know the expectation. Nothing's changed with that from when all the things they've done in the recruiting process, but these are not the results that they've wanted either. And obviously, I think a lot of the guys that we have, that are either committed or guys that are top targets. I mean, they're going to be part of that spark. They're going to be those difference makers that we've talked about throughout the course of the year, that I think can come in and be able to put their stamp on this program. And we've seen it before. And we saw it a few years ago when we were coming off a couple of underwhelming seasons on the field. I mean, we're guys that made a choice. They said that, no, I want to go and I want to be a part of and I want to help spark the change, and they did. And, you got to lift a championship trophy. You got to win 19 games in a row. I think it's the second most ever in program history. I mean, you got to experience a lot of good things. A lot of those guys are now playing in the National Football League and benefited from that choice. And we've got guys that are in this program that are freshmen and redshirt freshmen and, true sophomores, some guys that have already come in and been able to play that we're a part of that, of that part of those decisions. And even though right now they might not be, physically and some of them even mentally, where they need to be to make that play in and play out impact, but they're going to be great players here. And it's just trusting that development, trusting that the process of what people talk about of just going to get better. And we've got older guys that that obviously get to continue to push and work to lead and work to inspire the guys that are around. And like I said, it's a choice for all of us. And we're gonna bounce back. And the messaging and even how it was received last night, and how it's going to be continued to be reiterated throughout this. Throughout these next few weeks, I mean, it's just all going to be real, and the real ones will show up, and I'm very, very confident in that.
All right, come to Chris, front row on your left.
The release mentioned that Randy will handle DC duties in the interim. Who will handle OC duties as well as O-line and coaching and receiving?
Yeah, obviously having a couple of spots there. We're gonna work collectively as a team in that regards. Obviously with Gabe, he's assumed that role, there earlier in the season, in the absence of Alex, and so he will continue to be kind of the key and point there on the O line, and then at receiver, Guy will kind of handle base day to day. He's been working with that group, but then also Austin Tucker, we got obviously a great great coach and Coach Stockstill that will be able to kind of help where we're down a couple of coaches. He's going to be around and involved in kind of all helping majority of positions, and so but got a great background there as well. So I've got a lot of confidence in the coaching staff that we have, and what we're going to be able to do over these next few weeks. And everybody's responsibilities. It's kind of a heightened sense of importance, because there might be a little bit more crossover for guys, and make sure you're connecting with the players, make sure that we're meeting them at where they are, and then obviously doing all the things necessary for us to go out there and be our best these next two games.
Second for Brendan.
With the early signing period being so early, especially after the season, do you have a timeline, I guess, for coaches hires? Is it realistic to get some in place before then? Yeah,
I mean, I have a desire. I'd love to say that December 1st would be a great day to you finish the season, but is that how real is that going to be? Obviously I want to respect everybody as they're going through their process. The guys playing in championship games, that's not going to we're going to respect the process of what that could be. And then we've got even a very short period of time had some tremendous interest in positions and roles, even from guys at the next level. So I mean, it's we're going to evaluate all things just to be right, and obviously we want to make sure that in all decisions that we want to be able to expedite the process as much as we can, but as long as it's right. And would it be good for guys on signing day to know exactly who's going to be in place? Yes, but that I'm going to communicate as much as I possibly can with the guys that are committed to us, the guys we're going over, kind of where that journey has taken us, and we'll make the best decision when the time is right.
All right, we'll go Corey on your right.
Do you foresee a scenario where you're interested in an OC, and OC is interested in you, but there's a conversation about, okay, is it my offense, is it your offense? Those are the conversations that happen when you're making hires like this. And do you see a scenario where you bring in an OC and just it's his offense?
I mean, I'd say yes to all those conversations are real, and I'm open to, we haven't been good enough offensively this year. It's been awful. I mean, like, we all know it, and it's not, we've all watched it, and, there's been, plenty of reasons for that, and there's been plenty of things where we have to improve and be better. But my job is to evaluate every part of our program, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and then make the best choice of where are we gonna to take the biggest steps, obviously as fast as possible, to be able to go be what I know we're capable of becoming. And so yes, to all questions, I will evaluate all those things, and everything's on the table.
Next will be Kurt, front row on your left. On your right.
On the other side of the ball, looking at defense, I guess, are there traits or experiences you're looking for with the next defensive coordinator?
Yes, I think that I've got a plan in place for what you don't make decisions like this to this scope and without having an idea of what it is that you are looking for, what are the areas where I think we can continue to improve and support our players, and highlighting the guys that we have, and also highlighting the guys that we're going to go get. And so I do have a plan in that. Don't want to get into too many specifics at this time, but yes, I've got a picture of what that's going to be. And I've been fortunate throughout my career. I've had to hire a lot of coaches, and very few times have I had to hire coaches because of the situation that we're in now. Usually it's been from guys in promotions and other opportunities that have been presented itself. But I know what it looks like, and even coming here, the guys that have been here for the last 5 years, and some guys that have joined in throughout this journey. We've had some really, really good coaches, and they've proven themselves throughout the time. And unfortunately, this year has not been good enough. And tough decisions have had to be made, and those guys are going to go on and have great careers in their own right. But this is obviously there's a ton of focus, investment, and belief in what we need to be and where we're going. So I'm gonna rely on what I know, and there will be absolutely no change to to the character and the characteristics of what I think it is to be what's necessary in great coaches. And that's what we're going to be able to provide for our players. The guys are going to impact them not only on the field and helping them grow and develop, but also help them develop as the men that they're going to be. And that's going to be a key figure in that profile, is that yes, the on the field development, absolutely critical. But if they're not about their hearts, if they're not about helping them in their journey of life, then probably not going to be somebody that is going to go very far in that process.
All right, we'll go to Jordan, third row on your left.
Coach, obviously yesterday was an emotional day. If you could share the reactions and the emotions from the three coaches that you let go.
I'm not really going to go into that. It was, I love those guys, and you spend every one of them I was 5+ years with, and so it's hard. It's because I don't go into it as just like, hey, I'm the CEO of the football program and this, that, and the other, and then these are those are family members to me. It's what I pour in, and that's what I'm going to continue to pour in. It makes days like yesterday that much harder, right, when you operate the way that we operate. But those guys, as I said earlier, I have an obligation to them. I made a very, very tough choice in that decision, but I also have watched them for the last 5 years of what they've poured in and how badly they want this program and these players to be successful. And so I'm going to bust my ass in doing everything that I can do to make sure that I honor them with with this decision in what we continue to do for these players and where this program goes, because I will always hold dear the work that they put in to get us to where we have been, but us also just how they did it. And so it was it was hard, but I'm not going to I don't want to get into specifics of all of it, but it was those are remarkable coaches and men.
We'll go back to Gene on your right.
Coach, as you noted probably the realistic earliest time you could hire new coaches be December 1st, so you have 3 weeks. What happens during those 3 weeks leading up to that? I mean, is it a lot of just vetting of candidates to narrow that list? Can you get some feelers? Because obviously you're going to want to be able to move on that quickly once that window opens up for you to make the hires.
Yeah, I mean, it's a anytime there's an in-season decision, with a unique early signing day that is first time we're operating under this new schedule, there is work that's being done, and I will say that it is a benefit that we have a bye week this week, to be honest with you, and I've always kept, since I started, 9 years ago being a head coach, I've always had a list, and even when I was a coordinator, I used to do it. I mean, it was just always had a list of guys that, hey, this is maybe somebody that I've seen, somebody I know, somebody that, I've watched, throughout their career and just and respect, and, is it fit us? Is it something that whether their interest, their time, the fit for what we're looking for, and then, just like anything, I mean, there's going to be people that, just because of what we've done, who we are and where we're at, that are going to have interest in the opportunity as well. And I have a very open mind. I've already, like I said, it's going to be a highly sought after opportunity. And, when you look at it, this is, it should be attractive to potential coaches, and, for, what this program, and obviously both sides of the ball, and the opportunity to be around the kids that we have. I'm excited because we got a great group of young talent, and we've got obviously great potential, and to be able to bounce back very quickly. So yes, it'll all be a part of the there'll be vetting process. There will probably be some early conversations, and just making sure to see what all is real throughout this experience, and then obviously we'll work through that journey as it progresses here over these next few weeks.
Come back to Brendan on your left.
Because Alex had a unique role as both coordinator and offensive line coach, I guess as you're vetting offensive coordinator candidates, would they have to be offensive line coach as well, or?
No, I'm like I said, I'm very open and different potential roles, pieces, how all that can fit and what it can look like. So. No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be in that role, and still looking for the best of what we need, and so that's kind of how we'll go through that decision-making process.
Go back to Corey on your right.
You talked about what yesterday maybe meant to the recruits, and you talked to all the recruits. And I'm not saying you did, and I'm not saying you did this for the fans, but after what happened Saturday night and 1 and 9, what do you think what happened yesterday says to your fans about the results on the field and how much they matter?
Well, there's, obviously everything we do, and I love our fans, and I love, the people we represent, being a part of this program, past players, and all, but I've got to do what I feel is best, to the best of my ability in leading this program and decisions that I make. There's going to be a lot of, emotions, and there's going to be a lot of times that our fan base might disagree with the decision I make, whatever that might be, in game, out of game, personnel, who we recruit, who we go after. That's all part of it, and the passion of that is what makes this place wonderful. But I would say that this year has been unacceptable, and that's the from the job that we've done to how we've played. There is a standard here at Florida State that when you come here you embrace, and I will say it is part of this this job, and for the players that choose to come here, I tell them all the time, it's not for everybody. You have to be an absolute real one to be able to come in and understand the expectation of what it needs to look like and what it has to be, and it's not just what we do on the field, but how we do it on the field is all important, and we haven't been good enough this year, and it's hard to make changes, but when change is necessary, then you got to be willing to change, and that's not anything against guys that have been here. It's not anything against guys that are currently here. Guys that are in that locker room. But we need change. We need the best to show up, and it has to look and feel and be a certain way because the results matter. And we're all accountable to it. And it's we want more, and our fan base and everybody around it, we all desire this program to be what we know it's capable of. And we've seen the flashes of it. And we've been out, and it hasn't been too long ago since we've had that. But it's going to be back, and it's going to be back quickly. And we're going to work our butt off to make sure that's our reality in the very near future.
All right, next speak, Chris, on your left.
When you were a coordinator at Arizona State and when you've hired coordinators, how much do you allow, or when you were one, do you want a coach with you on that side of the ball that knows your system, how you operate? Is that something that you would allow a new coordinator hired
to
go about doing?
The easy answer is yes. You always want somebody that knows what you're, and I will evaluate all those things as we get there. With it, I remember, I think my first year as a coordinator at Arizona State, I had every assistant that was on staff I had never worked with. There was not one that I had ever been with in it. You all had different backgrounds. Nobody had ever been a part of tempo when we were running a tempo offense there at the time. It was a unique blend, and it worked. And even with the players coming in, I remember, I think we had maybe 3 or 4 returning players from the previous year. It was all new for everybody. But when you find those like-minded individuals, regardless of the background, regardless of who's there, who's not there, what that is and what that has to be, it just has to be right. You got to be able to work together in making that. And like I said, I'm open to all things as we move forward, because it still comes down to this being the best fit for Florida State. And I've got a lot of confidence in the coaches that we have. I've got a lot of confidence in the players that we have. But at the end of the day, it's we got to make it right. And the willingness to do the hard thing, and the willingness to take the steps, and the accountability for all of us is a necessity. So we'll keep an open door to all of it.
All right, we got time for 2 more. Do Aslan in the back.
How understanding was A.D. Alford when you went to him and said you had to move off a pair of coaches and an assistant that you guys had made significant financial contributions to in the last year?
Yeah, our administration is remarkable, and we have. Everybody has a job to do, and everybody has, it's the tough decisions, but when you work with people that care about people, he's empathetic to all of it as well, and he knows that it's a hard decision to make, especially after the commitment to a staff, that was a well-earned and I think well-deserved commitment, there with what we had accomplished, and in reality, some of the things that we had done, here. But like I said, it was he's very supportive of us. He's very supportive of me, of the things that we need to do to continue to push forward. And from A.D. Alford to the president to the board of trustees. It's we've got a great group here, and I understand my responsibility. And I'll say that it's just, we're going to go get it right. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to work our butts off to make sure that we're honoring the commitment, the investment to every fan that's out there, to every booster that is invest into our program. I don't take any of it for granted. I don't take it's heartbreaking to me when it's the product that we do, the results that we have are not to the standard. And this year is, like I said, it's not. We've not achieved anywhere near what expectation or what we desire it to be. And so we're gonna get it right. And I've got the support from the administration. Obviously, you can look out behind, and you see the commitment to building facilities, to the renovation of the stadium. All of it matters. And you look at and what we're doing in recruiting. Obviously, it's going to be a new age with the NIL and the component of the revenue I guess distribution there with players, and all of that is gonna tie in, and I feel very confident in the support that we will get and continue to receive. But yes, we got a great AD and an administration that helps support in even very difficult decisions.
Last one will be Bob, front row on your right.
Coach, with Randy Shannon taking over defensive coordinator responsibilities, how do you want the defense to look different? I know you're not going to go into specifics, obviously, but broadly, schematically, what can you do in season? What would you like him to do?
I mean, having a bye week gives us a little bit of time for, I mean, I want Randy to go run the defense, and I want him to be able to put, his emphasis to it and really for our guys to be able to go out there and play fast, play confident, to be free in playing within the calls of what we need to do. And will it look a little bit different? Yes. I mean, there'll be some differences. Will there be some things that probably mirror? Yeah. I mean, we're 10 games into a season, so it's going to be probably a healthy mix. I mean, I had the opportunity to compete against Coach Shannon, there when before we came here, and I mean, I've got a lot of respect for his mind, how he attacks and calls games, and I think he'll definitely do a great job with those players, and they'll rally behind it.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Mike.